Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. The people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines continue to suffer from the effects of the volcano La Soufriere. The volcano has been erupting for the past 3 weeks, destroying property, displacing thousands and covering a large section of the island in ash, also spilling over into other neighboring islands. Over 7,000 Vincentians are in shelters, with the country's agricultural sector and water supply system among the hardest hit. We are scheduled to be talking to Kesrick Williams, the West Indies and Windward Islands fast bowler, about what he has been going through. We haven't been able to link with him just yet, George, but we know the stories coming out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Very, very tough for the citizens there, especially those in the north of the island who are most at risk. And we had upwards of 16,000 of them being evacuated to areas of safety.
Yeah, I've seen some videos over the past few weeks, past 2 weeks, which have been absolutely scary. And you would have seen the same day, well, the day after the volcano first erupted, people outside in the daytime. You couldn't tell it was the daytime. It was like snow in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and it's heartrending to see a country that from the air, lush and green, now looking like these images that we're showing you on the TV. And there's a cricket group that we're a part of, Lance, with some esteemed former West Indies, with some West Indies legends among the members. Yes. Where someone, I don't know if you saw that video, where someone had a magnet outside, yes, and they were putting the magnet in the dust to, yes, show you, yes, how magnetic the, yes, ash itself, yes, was. It has metal properties. Oh, metallic. Yeah, yes, metallic. There you go. Yeah. So the fact of the matter is, it's a serious health situation. In terms of when the country will come back to normal, it could be a very, very long time. Sports, everything on hold. And I don't think anybody in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is thinking about sports right now. They're just thinking about survival. It's tragic.
Yeah, the Prime Minister moved to tears, George.
Yes, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, an emotional fellow at the best of times, but you can understand why he would be overcome by looking at his people being under the pressure that they are under, and looking at the country that he has served so very well over so many terms, record term in office for Dr. Ralph Gonzalez. And guess what? This is one of those situations where no legislative act, no act of policy, no implementation of any measure as decided on by cabinet and any consultants, none of those things can help to ameliorate the situation, when usually those are where, well, those areas are where you go, those people are who you consult with to solve problems connected to a national issue.
Yeah, first eruption from La Soufriere since 1979, and the ash and the entire, well, most of the island covered in ashes. And Kesrick was actually hospitalized briefly, George, because of breathing issues he had as he tried to move his family from the red zone. He, from what we understand, is okay now, but it was a tough experience for himself and many others.
Yeah, and that's why we wanted to hear from our producers. Are trying while we are speaking to, yes, make that connection with Kesrick Williams. They've been unsuccessful so far. They're giving it one last shot, so we're holding out that we can speak to the fast bowler. But, you know, acts of God, or if you don't believe in a God, acts that are outside of human effort, outside of the realm, we didn't have anything to do about it, and there's nothing that you can do to stop a volcano erupting. And just like that, life which was normal can be not normal. And it's not as if this thing happened during a normal course of events, a normal period. Yeah. This is happening during a pandemic where things were already tough. Before the volcano erupted, don't forget Dr. Ralph Gonzalez was on the record as saying that based on the economic impact that COVID had on the economy, yes, if it continues apace, in a couple of months you wouldn't be able to pay public sector workers. Yeah, so that's the situation they were in, and then the volcano erupted. So a bad situation compounded. And all we can do is, well, all we can do is pray. We can pray, but we can open our doors to the Vincentians. We can offer tangible assistance, yes, as so many members of CARICOM have done, and we have to applaud them for that. But the road forward, Whitaker, redemption and normalcy, is far, far away, it seems.
Yeah, and the other factor that governments battle with in situations like these is to convince its constituents about the dangers at hand, because there are people who live in the red zone who have property and hesitate to evacuate because they feel they want to remain to see, how much they can salvage from their hard-earned property. And you understand that desire, but life is life. Happily for the Vincentians, we haven't seen the death toll as we saw in Montserrat back in 1995, when there were a lot of deaths when the volcano erupted there, and very, very, horrific pictures coming out of that Montserrat experience.
Yeah, Lance, you're stirring up some bad memories there with that Montserrat experience. I can tell you this though, the day after the La Soufriere violent eruption, there was a viral social media video. I don't know if you saw it, of a Rasta man from St. Vincent giving the account of what happened. And I'm going back to what you said earlier about people risking life and limb because of property. He said he was cooking some chicken when the first eruption happened, and he evacuated. So they say, okay, so what did you do after the eruption? He said, well, he went back to finish the meal and to collect some items. And I'm like, but you're risking life and limb. He said he got out, but he wouldn't be going back. So he realized the significance and the seriousness of the situation. But it's no laughing matter for our friends in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we stand ready to assist in whatever way we can here at SportsMax. And of course, for the rest of the region, I hope that I can speak on your behalf by applying that statement to you as well. We aren't getting through to Keswick Williams, so we're going to go to the break. And we break with this question: who will win La Liga this season and why? Send us that voice note and we'll play it right here on the SportsMax Zone later today.